Perfection. Freshly picked ingredients, tantalizing flavors, sweet and sour intertwine and dance into your glass. One-of-a-kind arrangements, hitting every note. Why wait for the weekend? It's on at the grill.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Good evening and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and if you're fortunate enough to get rainfall today, well, consider yourself lucky because that extended forecast trending so much drier, but there is still some good news, and that is that fall-like air is on the way. If you've been waiting on fall like I have, then you know this is just a blessing moving forward. Well, we have several headlines we're going to be tracking tonight in the Room to Room Weather Center. The first of those being the cold front continuing to move through overnight, and the effects that will be felt will, of course, happen as early as tomorrow afternoon. So buckle up. Fantastic forecast ahead. And that forecast does entail some more fall-like conditions, especially later on this week. So just buckle up. It's going to be a great forecast. And the last headline, and it's the last but certainly not least, one that's near and dear to my heart, is we have a new edition coming in May. We'll walk through that here in just a moment. What's the saying? April showers bring May flowers. Well, there's your hint of what to expect. And we are just so excited to be a part of this, and just God has blessed us. So we'll talk about that here in just a moment, but had to include it because our family is your family, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Here, once I get talking about it, that's all I'm going to be fixed on because we're just so excited. So let's stay focused on weather for a brief moment. 11 p.m., 71 degrees. By overnight hours, we're talking 70 degrees and really cooling off into the upper 60s, mid to upper 60s overnight. So still a mild start for the start of our Wednesday, but those mild conditions not sticking around forever. Could see a brief shower overnight, but all in all, those chances are very low and have continued to diminish into that extended forecast. So the little hope we did have for a few more drops, even that is just starting to vaporize away. Let's go ahead and get a look there in Aberdeen, where it's been one of the more action-packed areas. Thank you for not turning off. Here over the afternoon and evening, 72 degrees, and that dew point right around 73. So right the same value, meaning that moist environment is there. I would say for folks in Aberdeen, not really rainfall we're concerned about, primarily going to be the potential for some patchy fog for our morning commute happening Wednesday morning. So with that moisture still in the air, very little wind, that's of course not going to clear out those conditions. Same thing out in Batesville, 72, dew point still at 70 degrees, and they did have a few showers out there, and wind 0 miles an hour. So that really gives you an idea of it's a calm night, but calm also means dangerous with that foggy commute tomorrow morning. So hey, low beams essential, and even if you want to, maybe if you can, wake up a few hours later, well, then that will help with that morning commute. Greenville, 73 degrees, dew point still around 72, should I say. Folks out there dealing with a few showers off and on through the afternoon and early part of our evening, but now a drier forecast and, dare I say, a silent night across the region. Trying to speak that cool weather into existence. If I use Christmas puns, maybe that'll embrace it. A few light showers I do see right there on Mississippi Live Weather Radar, trying to move through the Montgomery County area. You see right there, basically right along Highway 82 at that I-55 intersection. If we zoom in on that area, you may notice that this is not really anything too impressive. It's going to be right east of Winona, which will be a decent downpour at times. Let's go to that latest scan, and I'm going to put a track on this, continuing to trend a little bit southwest. Honestly, movement 7 miles an hour at most, and so you can see not really going into any major locations or some of those communities back there in Montgomery County. But as I clear this off, I think we can take a track a little bit there towards the Vaden community. It's a little bit fast on this, I believe, but Vaden about 10:59. Wouldn't be surprised to see folks out there see a drop or two in that forecast, but I mean overall, if that's the only shower we're tracking and impacting so little of North Mississippi's population, I think that will be good overnight. And a lot of that action over there in Monroe County has dissipated as well. So now we're entering that, like I said, silent night a little bit. Well, let's look at those rainfall totals. It was an action-packed day, and folks over there have been saying Monroe County a lot. You can see some of those rainfall totals, 1.5 inches in some locations south of Aberdeen around Hamilton. We did see a few drops there towards Caledonia. We kept talking about you guys at 6 o'clock, around an inch there, but earlier on as those showers worked their way on through, you can see several locations that were just around that 2-inch mark along this band right here and back there towards Memphis. This was late last night for folks up there, 1.5 inches. So this was an action-packed system and one that we were very fortunate to experience because it brought necessary rainfall to our forecast. We've been waiting on it for quite some time, and we will be waiting on it for quite some time in that extended forecast. So we will miss you, but come back soon. Cold front moving on through the area. As you can see on our Mississippi Live weather radar analysis, we're going to expand this out one more time, and you can see that back behind it, some drier area in place, and this driving all of that moisture east away from us here in North Mississippi. And so our futurecast kind of embodies that as well, so that cooler and drier air on the backside of this front really going to be the big driver in this forecast. I mean, take a look at those winds up there in Illinois and Indiana, how they are breezy coming from the north down south, very calm environment, and even those winds that we are getting along those coastal regions, pretty much that southerly wind. So tale of two forecasts. This front, really the divide between the two air masses, and we're going to be experiencing, in my opinion, the better air mass over the next several days. 6 a.m. cold front carries a lot of those rain chances out towards the east. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a little bit of a boundary form on the back end of this, producing a few light showers. That's that overnight threat that we were talking about, that 10% chance, and as 10% is indicated, it's not a lot in regards to what we'll be experiencing. At most a few drops, but that's pretty much it. 9 a.m. some drier conditions already moving in place, because if I move in a little bit closer, you can see those winds have already shifted there by 9, 10, 11 a.m. directly from the north, and that's cycling in some of that cooler and drier air. Carrying that over into the afternoon, you can see that those conditions continue to persist. So while there is going to be a partly cloudy sky, no rainfall is anticipated for our afternoon plans. So any Wednesday evening plans and any midweek services for church, both will be good to go, and both should be something that we go to because it means that we're getting outside and enjoying this great forecast, and we get to learn a little bit about Jesus in the process. So the next 24, 68 degrees 6 a.m., 69 by 9, climbing up to the upper 70s by noon. That's really where we'll sit into that afternoon threshold as well. You can see those winds coming directly out of the north, and we said breezy conditions, about 10 to maybe even 15 miles an hour, with some gusts getting up to 20. So yes, that's going to be blowing in those drier conditions even stronger and keeping it dominating over our area. So that's one of the things that we're just excited to track more about in that extended forecast, and one of the many things we're excited to talk about here in the 10 o'clock broadcast. So we hope that you'll stay with us here on Mississippi Live Weather at 10, live from the Room to Room Weather Center. We'll of course be walking through this in a bit more detail on this forecast, and we have some exciting news that we'll share with you coming up at the end of the broadcast. So keep it here for the very latest. Ooh, let me get back over here.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us at unitedway.org.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 10, where we are tracking a calmer night compared to what we were experiencing earlier this afternoon. Currently 70 degrees in Pontotoc, and we are getting that clearing there in the sky. Still some partly cloudy conditions, but those transitioning east and leaving us with a, yes, I said a silent night. Should I say a calm night? We're not fully in that Christmas season yet, but definitely ready for some colder temperatures. Not just over there in Pontotoc, but even out there in Winona, still dealing with those partly cloudy conditions and a large part of this moisture being driven out. And yes, we We do have a shower close by to Winona, but not expecting any major impacts. At most, a couple drops of rainfall reaching the surface, but that's adding to what has already been a supplemental rainfall day. That's how we're going to call it. 74 feeling like 72, and that dew point still around 73 degrees. So both our temperature and our dew point going to be what falls back over the next several days, making it feel so much more bearable. If you walked outside today and felt the stickiness in the air, well, it felt a little bit like summer, and we're ready to drive that forecast out. 73 in West Point feels like 68, and those dew points around 71 degrees. Skies pretty much look the exact same no matter where you look because of those clouds popping up, what's left of the moisture. But again, all of that does change in the extended forecast. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, as you can see right here, dry across the region. But if we carry things out towards the east, you're already seeing a little bit of that action there in Birmingham, Alabama. A completely different story. And for my folks over there in Argo, Alabama, getting some rainfall. But I'm sure you need it because of how dry that forecast has been, not just here in North Mississippi, but all across the southeast. So coming back here to North Mississippi, we were tracking that shower just a moment ago over there towards Winona. And as you can see, that is starting to collapse in on itself, not going to be producing anything too significant. So for folks out there that I was talking to over Baden, probably not going to be getting any drops of rainfall, unfortunately. Winona, the only fortunate folks, and even then it's just to the east of Winona. So downtown area is not really getting that. And the fact we're talking so minuscule about a shower shows you that we are in a much calmer pattern. Earlier on, we were tracking bands of rainfall. Not exactly the case now. So temperatures, that's the story going over the next 24 hours is how this falls back. Currently sitting 73 Houston, 70 in Tupelo, upper 60s Boonville, Corinth, and Iuka, and out southwest, 76 Belzona and Greenwood. So still pretty warm for some locations. And dew point still in the low to mid 70s for a lot of locations. Those purples showing up, and that's still some of that summer-like air. We're ready to drive that out of the forecast. And this front is doing exactly that. Upper 60s for the rest of us in Tupelo, Iuka, and even out there towards Holly Springs. But if we look on the regional scale, you can see that is slowly but surely starting to dip back with 73 in Starkville, 69 in Little Rock, 62 Fayetteville, and yes, 57 in Oklahoma City, 57 a realistic possibility of how low our dew points drop. And whenever you pair 57 with highs around 79, well, that's going to be a broad difference, and that's where we get some of that drier feeling air, which is so much more bearable, even if temperatures only drop back just a couple of degrees. So your day planner overnight, 71 degrees by midnight, 69 by 3, and 68 heading out towards that morning commute. So not exactly going to be a comfortable start to the day, but things just get better as the day goes on. A brief shower possible overnight, but we're not exactly anticipating much of any rainfall. That's just kind of for a couple of drops overnight as this front transitions on through. So 2 a.m., you can see the front sitting right over the top of North Mississippi, basically splitting us right in half. But if we push it more towards tomorrow morning, that front continues to drive on through and take all of that moisture with it. So our latest model run, not exactly high on those rain chances. I kept the 10% there just in case, but don't really go anticipating that overnight. We're going to all be sleeping comfortably with those calm conditions in place. But you saw it a little bit. That northerly wind starting to get a little bit more breezy, especially out there towards the west where that front has already transitioned on through. That's going to cycle in some cooler air. So it won't be felt right away. That northerly wind really needs to get going as we head into the afternoon before we feel that difference take place. 64 Tunica, 66 Clarksdale, and 68 Cleveland and Greenville. Out east, 66 in Amory, 64 around Red Bay, and 67 towards Starkville. So again, a mild start, but it does get better as the day goes on. We'll get a first look at that with our school day forecast. 67 towards drop-off and only climbing into about the upper 70s or low 80s across North Mississippi. No complaints there. Compared to what we saw today, we were in the mid 80s, but felt like 90. So the fact we're going to be upper 70s, feeling like that drier air, it's going to be so much more bearable. So Wednesday morning, we're going about the day with already that northerly wind getting a bit breezy, 5 to 10 miles an hour for the start of the day. And as the day goes on, we're talking 10, 15, possibly even 20 miles an hour. So breezy to possibly gusty conditions possible, but not really driving out that cloud cover. It's just going to keep that forecast dry here at the surface. So we will be dealing with partly cloudy conditions as the day goes on, but no rainfall expected with those clouds. Just going to make the sky a little bit more picturesque. If you play the, what does that cloud look like game, this will be a great day for it if you want to head outside and do exactly that. But those clouds also acting as a blanket in the atmosphere, which basically blocks that sunshine from reaching the surface. So that's why our temperatures also are not climbing too much. That northerly wind shift as well as that cloud cover kind of working in tandem to keep our temperatures that much more bearable. So our high temperatures for Wednesday are already seeing it take a step back with 80 in Houston, 82 Grenada, 78 Tunica, all the way along the Tennessee state line with some areas talking about mid-70s towards Alcorn and Prentice County. Let's go ahead and get into that Thursday forecast though, and we will definitely see how that drier air really makes an impact on our Thursday morning and Thursday in its entirety. So here you see Wednesday night, northerly winds still cycling through the area, a few partly cloudy conditions into those overnight hours, but no rain chances expected with that forecast. So yes, there's clouds, but no impact's going to be felt. So 6 a.m. on your Thursday, that little bit of cloud cover we did experience starts to be driven out and pushed towards the south and east. What we're left with is a beautiful sunny sky for our morning commute, and get used to that sunshine because it will be in the forecast for your Thursday, for your Friday, for your Saturday, for your Sunday. Yes, all of that. A few passing clouds definitely possible, but overall we're going to be in a much drier state of mind and a much more, in my opinion, comfortable and fall-like pattern. So let's go into that 3 p.m. hour, that peak heating, still dealing with that northerly wind, but plenty of sunshine for any of those afternoon plans. And same thing for those evening plans. I'm just going to be a phenomenal forecast. High temperatures just get better and better as each day passes. 76 New Albany, 74 up there towards South Haven, and I see a 73, and I see a 72 in Red Bay. So again, nothing to complain about. A few low 80s still popping up around Macon, around Greenwood and Belzona. So some folks not as fortunate as others, but we are at least trending in the right direction. Now, I talked about a drier forecast. There is still that potential for maybe 1 shower, 2 showers that pop up overnight, but even those measuring at about a couple hundredths of an inch max. And this is over the next 2 days, but watch how we transition to the next 7 and nothing changes on this graphic. Shows you how dry things are going to be. Not expecting any additional rainfall from what we have right now with the pattern that we're going to be in. So water those plants. Make sure everything is hydrated outside because, yes, we love the drier air, but it does play some impacts on our plants or any of those things that need water outside. I mean, whether you have pets outside, plants outside, anything like that, make sure they're hydrated and going to be good to go over the next several days. But where that front really will be affecting our area is with our high temperatures. 85 today, dropping to 79 Wednesday, dropping to 77 by Thursday, and those temperatures gradually climb back by Tuesday. 84 degrees is expected. But again, 84 Tuesday, it's not going to feel the same as 85 today. So that's where that drier air will really make an impact. And high temperatures, yes, they'll be affected, but not as much as our low temperatures. Just take a look at this graphic right here. 70 degrees for the start of our Tuesday, dropping to 66 Wednesday. And I told you, enjoy the mild conditions while they're here because we are falling off a cliff heading into Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. That trend does continue into the weekend as well. So when we say enjoyable forecast, that's basically an understatement whenever it comes to what we'll be experiencing. 79 Wednesday, 77 Thursday, and we'll remain in the upper 70s all the way up until Saturday. And then we'll start to trend back, like we mentioned, into the mid 80s come Tuesday. And low temperatures, yes, this is where that fall-like pattern will be in place. We talk about the last day of mild temperatures for our morning commute being tomorrow. Well, then by Thursday, 55, 57 Friday. And even as temperatures are climbing with our afternoon highs, low temperatures remain relatively the same, only getting into the mid to upper 50s. So an enjoyable forecast, all things considered. But as exciting as this is, we have even more excitement, not just here at Mississippi Live Weather, but also for my personal family. Did you get the hints? I've been trying to provide them here and there. April showers bringing May flowers. Has to do with the due date, and as well as the pun, we're also talking about I'm wearing a baby blue tie. So is that enough hint for you? Well, if not, here you go. Latest addition to the Maynor family happening May 2nd, 2026. Just excited to be in this whole new stage of life. Had been talking to so many people just about how great of a blessing this is, and that's just an understatement, all things considered. We've been praying about this, and God has really blessed us, and we're just so fortunate to have baby Maynor coming very, very soon. My beautiful bride doing a great job. She is a trooper. Just say your prayers for Annalise as she's going through pregnancy. And hey, all the ladies out there know exactly what that is, and all the men know how hard it is to take care of them and make sure that they're getting everything they need, and just excited about all of this. And Matt, I mean, you had too, so any advice that you can give on this new journey? Oh, Mike. I guess that is a teaching moment because there's basically no words to describe it. It's subjective to each kid. And as you told me before, just love them. So that's the best advice to give. And so, yeah, I'm taking your thunder, right? I just have to take your words for you.
There we go. God,
there we go.
You took my one line. You took my one line. it showed I had green levels over there, but apparently, just be patient with them when they make mistakes, because they will, because we as adults make mistakes, right?
Exactly.
And just love them all you can. Yeah, go for the band. You got to show them is that the only picture you pulled up there?
I can pull it up off Facebook. I had to upload it.
No, I already have it ready on Facebook to go. So hold on a second. I'll pull that up for you. I'll let you show off a few more of these.
Oh, well, yeah, it was such a fun photo shoot. And let me say that this was taken during during yesterday's forecast where it was raining. And Matt, you may have to control this because I don't know if I can get access to it right now. But yeah, this was all the pictures that was taken yesterday. Luckily got a break between showers, and that's just one of the way the Lord has blessed us. Just add it to the list of giving us that dry weather to make this happen. This is a look at baby Maynard. You can see them right there, the head, the little arms, currently about 10 weeks right now. And yes, there's baby Maynard, just so excited. Had the baby's breath too. Annalise, genius on that idea and adding that to this great photo shoot. Went to Hobby Lobby, had to get the dad and mom hats. Almost wore mine today just to really sell it, but I figured, don't mess up the hair for the broadcast. I don't know. And there's a look, yeah. We're just so excited and so excited to be adding to the family. I mean, we got fur babies last year and now we're getting baby this next year. So, I mean, God has just blessed us.
You don't want to mess up the hair.
Oh my word. I'll wear it tomorrow actually, just for fun. We went to the coffee shop to go announce it. Shout out Blue Magnolia. And whenever we were there, I was like, do I wear it? I just might wear it, and decided not to give it away just yet. But yeah, isn't that a cool hat?
This is a cool hat. You guys are going to make amazing parents. We're just so excited for what God has in store for you. There's going to be a lot of hard days, tons of hard days. But it is the best journey you will ever go on. And we're just so excited for you and your beautiful wife and all the patience that she'll need for all of the children, including the one with the hair.
Well, say your prayers for her because she is definitely a trooper in all of this. And the strength that she has, I tell her every day that God knew not to make me a woman because I don't think I have the strength to be pregnant. So what she's enduring...
None of us men could have figured it out.
Oh, my word. Yeah, I have no argument in anything because it's like what you're doing right now is insane. So I give all props to her, and God has prepped her to just be an amazing mom. And I cannot wait to see her in action with little baby Maynard.
Here, I'm gonna get out of the way and make sure to hit up that high school football after this. But yeah, congratulations, and looking forward to where May takes us.
Well, and so severe weather season as well. So I'm really praying that God kind of makes it a calm spring and that we're able to just kind of take a step back, enjoy family, and then we can get everything rolling beforehand, get it all knocked out, or maybe not at all.
You want to go the full 40, right?
Exactly. Oh my word, I'm stressed already. It's only October. But we are just thrilled and excited, and whatever words you want to use that are synonymous with that. I wish I could bring Annalise on here because, the way she talks about it is just incredible, and she is so excited. So just super blessed. Just thank God, give him all the glory in this, and any prayers or advice that you guys want to provide us, we would love that. Primarily prayers, though. We definitely need that strength. Okay, we talked about a football forecast or football broadcast, should I say, and we have that pulled up right here. Here are the nominations for this week's Mississippi Live Game of the Week that is finalized tonight. Golly, with everything happening, there's so many elements that are happening in life right now. So let's go ahead and get back to our regularly scheduled program with our football game of the week. And as you can see, the winner of this week is Choctaw County versus Aberdeen at a whopping 50%. I will say we've had close votes, but this was not close at all. Choctaw County and Aberdeen fans definitely taking the cake on this one, and we are excited to be out there in Aberdeen enjoying the great game with two great teams. So just excited to see what you guys can do. East Union versus Bruce getting about 27%, and Shandon versus Houston about 23%. So maybe in the future, we're going to try to get out to you guys as well. But this week, the vote speaks for itself, and we are headed over there to Aberdeen. So folks, get your concession stand ready. I always come hungry on Fridays, so we get ready to go. But we're excited about that, and we just need now band and Spirit Squad of the week, so that way we can get all those squared away and get those votes going. Because if you thought the vote has ended here, no, we're just getting started. So, but yeah, I think that pretty much, Matt, I'm going to bring you in here real quick. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I feel like my mind is running all sorts of directions. I want to make sure that we've knocked everything out.
I think you've probably pretty knocked everything out. The one other thing we might mention is, this is severe weather preparedness week.
Yes.
And a lot of folks, thinking about what that means. It's kind of hard to, get your brain wrapped around that, considering the fact that it is still, what? Dry, hot. We're talking about drought conditions. That's the only other thing I'd kind of mention with this today. And certainly, as you mentioned, severe weather season, our primary season in the spring. So still some time to kind of get things ready.
Yeah, and you talked about getting kits ready yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you get your kit ready and now put it in that safe space, which we'll probably talk about at some point this week in regards to where that safe place is. We talk about it all the time, but never too much to reemphasize that point. But today is severe thunderstorm, and that's what we were highlighting with our 6 o'clock broadcast. And again, that 3 criteria we look for: 58-mile-an-hour winds, hail of 1 inch or greater, and tornadoes. So if any of those 3 things are seen, we need to be listening to that, following the instructions, and getting to our safe place, or just getting, even if it's just large hail, getting under covers, because we don't want to be involved with that. And large hail, trust me, can hurt a lot. So we don't want you guys in that. And again, I want to re-emphasize, because a lot of us like to be storm chasers on the day of those severe weather events. We need to stay indoors. We need to stay where it's safe, whether it's just damaging winds, whether it's large hail, or whether it's a tornado. So we appreciate your pictures. We want the after the fact photos, but we want you guys to stay safe in the process. This is not the plains. You can't get a photo 10 miles away and still be safe. No, this is something that if you see a tornado, more than likely it's a little bit too late. So just prepare accordingly and be safe in the process. And that's something we're going to continue to reemphasize all week long with Severe Weather Preparedness Week. So we'll talk to you guys more about that heading into the broadcast tomorrow. I do want to say make sure and download the free app. And hey, we'll wrap it up with this picture right here of just the beautiful Maynor family, officially a party of 3. And again, we are so excited, and we will keep you guys updated as we go about the process, hopefully knowing gender soon, and that'll be exciting. And we'll also get to, May will be right around the corner, because time is already flying. Again, any advice, let us know, because we're kind of new to this thing. But again, you can download the Mississippi Live Weather app. I'm going to stand in front of my face and kind of act like it's like, oh, look, it's me. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's 10:30. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and get some sleep. Our next broadcast happening at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley. And at 5, 6, and 10, we'll be back here on your Wednesday evening, walking through what should be a fantastic forecast to wrap up the week and giving you the latest on those football forecasts. So everything to be excited about as we head into the latter part of the week coming up on your Wednesday shows. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here bright and early on your Wednesday morning.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.